Hi, everybody. Welcome to How to Make Money with Email, session number 4. Da, 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 you made it. We were just discussing before I hit record. Uh, Megan went live on a particular area of her website and is getting a 6% conversion rate on your, is that on your pop-up, Megan? Is that right? That's or just other forms or what?
Yeah, it's not a pop-up, it's just like an inline sign up form.
Wow, a 6% on inline sign up forms. That's even better because a lot of people are just blowing right through that. So congrats. Imagine what's going to happen. I expect good things should you decide to put a pop-up on those pages as well. My point on that, or the reason I'm bringing that up, conversion rates everything. When we're talking about Martha, right? All the different Marthas in our lives that visit our different pages and our posts and our articles and our channels. In that moment, what does she want? He or she want? And Megan is dangling a very enticing carrot to the campers. And it's working. So for everybody else, let's do it. We take that as motivation. I hope that helps. Sharon got hers launched today or launched yesterday, I take it. And getting subscribers, yes, maybe.
Did it last night. I have 3 subscribers. One of them is me. So,
Oh, wow. Well, I hope that you open and click everything and, that helps your overall conversion rates. More impressive on these calls. Is that more than you would have normally had during that time frame?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to it.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, let's keep an eye on it and maybe go back and look and see how does it, because we're playing golf here. How did we beat our last score? Okay, great. Well, congrats on launching. That's the first step. By the way, as I mentioned to you last time, the offer still stands. If you have a form, pop-up, whatever that you would like me to look at, I'm happy to look at it. Especially if you don't think it's converting well. If you think it's converting well, then show it to all of us and we'd love to see it. But if you're struggling a little bit, I may be able to help you unleash the beast of your, the potential of your form. All right, let's get into today's conversations while you're considering sharing those types of things. All right, we're going to be we're going to kind of go to a variety of different areas today. So I'm stating the obvious here. And when we're talking about how we make money with email, we need to understand the landscape that we're playing in. With everything going on well, this got pushed off since I made this slide, but Google's getting rid of cookies sometime. But we know that there's a whole lot happening with AI. Google's own content updates or search updates have really rocked some of us. Some people aren't even using Google at all. I have to admit, I am going to ChatGPT for quick answers on a lot of things faster than I am Google these days. So I posed this question last August, and we're going on a year now. And this is still true today. What would I do if I knew that I had 6 months before I was going to have major changes to my traffic? And guess what the email guy says? He says that he would grow his list as big as possible. And the reasons for that every single day become more and more apparent to me. As I spoke with somebody who has 2 million, I think I told you this yesterday, but on Tuesday, I spoke with one of my clients who has 2 million Instagram followers, and she just feels like she's just been shadowboxed. Is that the term? Where her stuff is not being shown to anybody. She doesn't control that. When you have a big list, you can drive your own traffic, jumpstart new channels faster, such as the next whiz bang doodle platform that's going to come out. We can say, hey, I'm over here now, follow me here, because that's going to happen. And then you can unlock new revenue streams, which we're going to talk about here in more depth. Additionally, as we've talked about a lot, I just want to remind you, it's a fantastic way to communicate who you are and what makes you different. You're not just a search result. You don't have to be, your messaging doesn't have to be victim to an algorithm. And so you get to explain to people who you are and what matters to you, what should matter to them, what problems you can solve for them. All right. So a couple of things I want to go through as we dive into ways to actually make real dollars with email. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of them with you today and tomorrow. Before we get going too far, I show this picture of this baby because I want to remind us all, did you make money blogging when you first started? And on anything that you were doing, you may be successful on such and such channel. Maybe you're good at SEO. Maybe, whatever it is, you've been showing up, putting in the effort, and doing the things that get you results. You probably had to crawl before you walked. So what I'm going to talk to you about today, I'm going to share a bunch of stuff that may be completely foreign to you, that may not even be on your radar at all, that I'd like you to consider and think, how would I baby step my way into this? Because I promise you, in the same way before, when you were wondering how to do the blogging thing, people were making money doing it, and now you are. The same thing is happening in email. All right, easy way number one to make more money with email. Well, I want you to follow what Raptive is doing. Pay very close attention to what Raptive is doing. This is not just a commercial for Raptive because they are supporting us in doing this mastermind. The slide was actually shared. I shared this at Tastemaker, and I said, follow what Raptive and Mediavine are doing. And I was not being supported by Raptive for that message. First-party data, and I'm going to touch on this briefly because not everybody understands it. I'm still learning all the nuance to it. It's highly technical, but I think we need to have a basic understanding. So if you're already a pro at this, forgive me for any for going over this briefly, but we need to understand, in the absence of Google third-party cookies for Chrome, there's a lot of money to be made by understanding who an audience is based off of their email address. All right, you can see another company out there is investing heavily in their ecosystem that requires emails, and Raptive is all in on newsletter ID stuff. They purchased a couple years ago, they purchased Slickstream, and they have invested in a whole team to build around that. Why? Because it's great for all this, all the other features it has, but because it taps into the email side of things. They have built partnerships with data cleaning warehouses that are able to extract information based off of hashed email addresses. Hashed simply means it's obscured, it's privatized, meaning if I know Carmen's email address, it gets turned into a bunch of characters that mean nothing and don't identify Carmen. It's just, it now represents Carmen as somebody who likes to go to movies, shops at Nordstrom, drives a Honda, all those different things, okay? The stuff that people can know about us with our email addresses. They are hiring teams to build around email. I know a bunch of stuff that's going on behind the scenes as well, but I can tell you this is just stuff that they're saying and showing publicly. I know how much money, I don't know how much money they're spending. I know that they are spending money on this in a big way. Why? Because having email addresses helps us get higher dollars for our advertisements. Because the advertisers use these email addresses to understand the audience. If they understand the audience, they're more willing to pay money to get in front of those people. All right, so they can serve more targeted ads. I lost my chat. Where'd it go? I don't know if anybody's asked a single question, but I lost it. Okay. So this is the bottom line. They have actually shared money. Oh, I'm going to show you examples here in just a second. Okay. Easy way number 2 to make more money with email is to send more emails. All right. Now, but do you want to do that? Well, let me give you some information. So for that, I spoke at Tastemaker conference. This is what I shared. I actually have expanded this data further, but the numbers are the same. So I asked people to go get their ConvertKit session RPMs for February versus their overall session RPMs. 22% difference. In some cases, upwards of 50%. All right. This is even before all your stuff is completely ID'd and everything. This is just general. You get paid more from somebody who goes to your website through an email link. This is ConvertKit specifically because those people, I was telling them to use certain search parameters in their Google Analytics and with Raptive and whatnot. But this is true for every platform, okay? They're just worth more. So if you send more, you will make more. I have a relationship with a variety of bloggers where I send emails on their behalf, and we are tracking how much money they're making. And in some cases, it is tens of thousands of dollars more per month because they're sending more emails. Of course, we're balancing that against fatigue and all those things that we've talked about to this point. The more segments you have, the better you serve, the higher the engagement, higher clicks. I guess I probably should have another slide on here that says send better emails because you'll get more clicks, right? Same logic. Easy way number 3. Send more emails with articles and posts that make you more money. Not all your posts are created equal. So here's an example from one of my dashboards. You can see this down here gets 11, or this time period had 11,000 page views with a page RPM of $49, made me $530. Another one that had almost triple the number of page views and barely made $618. So look at the delta there in those page RPMs. All else being equal, I'm not saying force it. All else being equal, which one should I send in more emails? Include more emails, right? So what are your big money makers? Have you made that list? And then have you considered how do I incorporate those into my Forever series, into my Quick Start guides, into my broadcasts? How can I leverage that? All right, here's one more. Understand your true email ROI. I know that many of you are concerned about the cost of email. MailChimp's too expensive. ConvertKit costs me an arm and a leg. I get it. When we're looking at our tools and our expenses, those line items, especially as you grow, those line items become bigger. They charge us based off of number of subscribers. But are you really looking at what that means? My experience has been that most people are not tracking this or thinking about the impact this has on your business. I'm going to, on the next slide, I'm just going to give it to you here. You can, oh, darn it. Well, you can grab it here too. This is fine. Just go sign up for that. Sorry, it's the Tastemaker form. I forgot to update this slide. But go get it. It'll email you this form. All you have to do when you get this form is make a copy for yourself. It's a Google sheet. And then fill in the yellow buckets and it'll spit out. This does not even factor in the lift you might be getting from Raptive's newsletter ID. Just go fill in what's your RPM, what's your cost, and then think about how much more could you make if you sent more emails? How much is it, how much is this really costing me versus benefiting me? Most of you have never done this exercise, so I invite you to think about it. Okay. I have bad news. Those are the easy ways to make more money with email. Now we're going to get into other ways. Corinne asked, how do you find, your ConvertKit RPM in the Raptive dashboard? They don't have that universally available yet. Just email your rep and ask for it, and they will pull it for you. That's what my people had to do. James has told me that it's coming very, very, very soon to a dashboard release near you, but they do have it and they can pull it if you ask for it. I have ActiveCampaign. Oh, Kylie, what you asked for? You're basically saying, I want to know what my RPMs are for sessions from ConvertKit or your mail platform from email compared to my overall RPM sessions. and then they should be able to do that. You want sessions, not page views. The reason for that is email is actually less on page views, but they are visiting a lot more of your pages. If you think about it for a second, the difference between somebody who comes from an email where you said, take a look at my article about how to run my horseradish quinoa soup. All right. And they're like, okay, I'm going to check this out. You look at it, interesting, and then you do not make that soup. Versus somebody who's Googling horseradish quinoa soup has a higher intent of making it. So they dwell on the page longer. But what's happening with email is that they're reminded that Kylie's stuff is awesome. Oh, Kylie does cook. And so then they check out the other recipes that you have on there and they stay longer. So that's just what's happening. And so you make a lot more money as a result of that. Awesome. Okay. All right. Here are some more ways to make money with email. Okay. I want you to think about this for a second. Marketing 101. All right. Why does anybody ever pay money for anything? Solving a problem. So legit, have you considered this beyond hanging out in SEMrush? Have you asked yourself the question, what problem am I really solving and for who? If that's not crystal clear to you at this moment, it might be ambiguous to you. You have a general sense. Oh, I do easy family recipes. But what does that really mean? Everybody does that. So what do you do different? How do you solve that problem differently? Now, in some cases, it's super duper clear. I can help you, help your students unlock their potential because we focus on strengths. I can help you find the perfect running shoe that'll make you run as fast as Kevin, right? So maybe you've got that dialed in, but maybe you don't. But once you have that dialed in, are you looking across your different segments and asking that same question? We've talked about this a little bit, and I'm going to spend more time on it than you think that we need to, because I have to hit this hard. One size does not fit all if you want to actually make money with email. I want you to think about the individual customers. As we talk about segmentation related to email, I'm talking about dividing the list by reader type, creating unique messages for them, solving their problems. In my case, I use this example several times. I'm hitting it again because it's important. I cannot throw out Disney Cruise general information to somebody who came through my website or my sign up for a Mickey Mouse coloring page and expect that I'm gonna have great results. It just doesn't work that way. However, for the Disney cruises, oh my gosh, I'm amazing. For the grandmas that are doing fun Disney crafts with their grandkids, I've got that too. All right, so if I can do that and figure out what problem I solve for those people, all that other stuff that I showed you before, send more emails, finding the higher RPMs, it just starts to make more sense as we figure out how to segment. We get better open rates, we narrow down solutions, we increase our sales. Solve my problems and maybe I'll buy from you. In a world of digital marketing where none of us have the brand cachet of Target or Walmart or Home Depot, what do you have and why does anybody buy anything from you? And I mean buy, I mean click your stuff, purchase your digital physical products, which we'll talk about in a minute, click through your affiliate recommendations, visit your sponsors so that those sponsors keep paying you. That's what I mean by selling something. You can't sell until you have built trust. All right? People just don't care. So my suggestion for building trust with email is create really smart email segments and thrive with them, build them, nurture them, love them, and solve their problems over and over again. Because as you do so, you'll build trust. Does anybody know who Jennifer Maker is? All right, Corinne nodded. Okay, Megan nodded. If you know who she is, you know how committed she is to helping people with crafts, and not just crafts, with Cricut. She There's probably plenty of Cricut experts out there, but if you ask me, and I don't know much about Cricut, but if you ask me who is a top Cricut expert, I'm going to say Jennifer Maker. Have I ever purchased anything from Jennifer? No. There's probably plenty of Jennifer's audience that have never bought a single one of her books, courses, or if they're clicked on her affiliate links, but they love her stuff. When she does come out with something, who is most likely to buy and click? All of those people. So let's do a little exercise. I have some fancy water here I want a little sip of. I want you to write down, I actually want to see action here. Write down your top 5 segments that you can serve. Okay? We're going to come back to that in just a second. Fancy water time. LaCroix, that's French, I believe. It means fancy water. A lot of people don't know French, so I'm here to educate you. Okay, did you write down 5 segments? What have you got down in the chat? Let's go. Let's see what you have. I'm pushing you on this exercise intentionally. Even if you think you've got them, what problem do you solve for them? Have you figured out what problem you solve for the therapist versus the teachers versus the students? Have you figured out what problem you have for the marathon runner versus the casual off the couch runner? The hiker versus the camper, the RV-er. Okay, Sharon, I want to talk about this for just a second. Those are interesting, and I'm not, I hope it's okay. But we've got desserts, cocktails, appetizers, gathering ideas. Don't know if that, okay. Cocktails is clearly a segment. There are drinkers and non-drinkers. And then there's people who are willing to make it at home and want to make it at home. So that's very different than somebody who wants desserts. Gathering ideas is not even the same thing as cocktails. Well, sure, there's crossover, but somebody wants to throw a party. That is not my wife. She does not want to do that. I kind of want to. The extrovert in me kind of wants to do that. Okay, Nisha's got some interesting ones because of the different aspects to the nutritional sides of your content. You know, whether it's somebody who just wants to make something quick, wants a quick meal, versus somebody who's specifically vegan, versus somebody who wants to plan meals and get ahead, and other people who want to live longer or do better for the planet or whatever the thing is. Those are different segments. Margaret's are super clear, but tapping into it are helpful. Busy moms, seniors, people looking for nostalgic recipes, meal planning, people, party foods. Now, some of those are clearer than others, aren't they? Like in Sharon's case, some of those were super clear, and other of those, there's just like, okay, that's a loose segment. Because I may be searching for party foods, but it doesn't mean I'm a party person. I may have been invited to a potluck or a Christmas party, and I'm supposed to bring something, right? I don't know if that narrows it to the segment. People want to meal prep, 30-minute recipes. Great. Car campers, backpackers, beginner runners, experienced runners, road runners, trail runners, running runners, not running runners, Matt Mullen runners. That's a very special category. It's more of an aggressive waddle. It's not really a run. Decor, Kathy wants Julia, Kathy. That's right. That's right. The macro, I forgot. The unique crafts. Excellent work, folks. Okay. Carmen with the air fryer. That's a different audience, isn't it? They have special needs. You can't just give them any old recipe and expect it to work in an air fryer. So good work, everybody. You see how this, I hope you start thinking about this. And now, what do we do with this information? Well, first of all, you find out who they are. And here's how to build out those segments. You can do surveys. I talked about that yesterday. You can do something like SurveyMonkey, send out an email and say, hey, Are you more of a stay-at-home parent? Are you more of a preschool teacher? Which of these, are you caregiver? Which of these is more like you? And then they could, they can fill out the information. You can also tag links. So in an email, you can do kind of a choose your own adventure and do that same thing. Click which of these is most like you. And then click, click, click. And then you could also do, as I mentioned yesterday, you could go back to previous forms. If Carmen had a air fryer ebook, she could assume that people who had downloaded that in the past have an air fryer and may still be part of that. But this is the one we've been talking about here, and that is Quick Start Guide. It's the easiest thing to do, is that you create these specifically for your topic. I was just right before this, the reason I was a little frazzled getting onto this is my call right before this mastermind. I was talking to somebody and she's like, I have something that only gets 1,000 page views a month, and it's specific to Weight Watchers, but it's a guide, and I have some other Weight Watchers content. But somebody who's interested in Weight Watchers points, they have high intent. So we were talking about, even though it's not her biggest traffic thing, she wants to grow there. She wants to serve them. So she's like creating a real quick opt-in for that. I like this exercise because I always think of my segments are people, not topics. It's easier for me to use topics. Yeah, exactly. Well, they are people that have different interests and are different places. It was a complicated setup in these automations of ConvertKit. I set up, I can't remember now, I did it via preferences and tagging. Okay, well, my hope is that you'll figure out how to make these, like the simplest thing to do is to make a different sequence in ConvertKit. It's talking about ConvertKit specifically, but you can also do this in MailChimp or whatever. And it does require a little bit of practice, but make one, make the forms that go with it, show the pop-up on those posts, and then duplicate. I'm going to do this on the vegan recipes. I'm going to do this on the nutritional guides, and I'm going to do this on the here's what's good for the planet stuff. It's just different. So yeah, it is a little. It like I said, it's crawl before walk. But once you have it, rinse and repeat. So what do we do with these segments? Now, finally, with a half hour left to go, we're going to get into the specifics of different ways to make money with them. But I had to start there in the same way that we had to start with building a list. Because if you don't have an audience that cares about you, you are not going to build trust. And all the rest of this is pointless. So I hope that was okay. All right, let's talk about affiliate marketing. This is my Carmen, did you have a question? Oh, all right. She's like, finally, get to the good stuff. All right, finally. All right. Okay. This is my family. This was about 5 years ago. It was before the pandemic, and the kids were old enough, and we're like, we're going to go do something special. We're going to take a trip across Europe. So for 3 weeks, we got to see several countries in Europe, and it was wonderful. Now, I told them that we were going to see a lot of different places, and we were going to hop on different trains and stuff, and we had to pack light. I was not going to do a lot of laundry, or excuse me, a lot of lugging of stuff around, and I wanted the wardrobe to be something that you could repeat a lot. Guess what? I found these Peak Design backpacks, and I bought everybody one. And so these things are fantastic. They have so many pockets. I've turned into my dad, by the way. My dad used to go into these strip malls. Here in America, they had these strip malls everywhere. And then there was this store called Totes or something like that. Anybody remember this? And then they had all these bags. And he would go in there for an hour. He would just be like looking at every zipper. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is boring. Now I'm turned into him because this thing has so many zippers. You can put all the stuff in the different places. It's so fantastic. And it really held up to the rigor of traversing across different countries. We also, while I was over there, I had some amazing, I got to show you these. I had some amazing shoes. These things are fantastic. The reason I love these shoes, here they are, is they are all natural. They're super comfortable. You can just throw them in the wash. Yeah, don't look at Switzerland. I want you to see my shoes. These are called Allbirds. Anybody have Allbirds? I love them. So comfortable. I just throw them in the wash. Oh, and then don't let me go too far without telling you about my noise canceling headphones, which when we flew across the pond, I didn't hear any of those screaming kids because I put these on and The whole world disappeared and I was able to rest and relax and enjoy my flight. Why am I telling you all this other than to brag that one time I went to Europe? Because affiliate marketing is an untapped opportunity for many of my clients. I'm starting here intentionally. This is fun for me. I hope you'll humor me. Let's make a quick list. I want you to write down in the chat, related to your business, as many tools as you can that you can't live without, that make your life easier, comfortable, save you time, money, do the work of many tools, make you feel smart. It's funny, Shauna, that you say that because I have been down the rabbit hole with, it's called Unbound Merino. Is that what it's called? Anyway, I was looking at those the other day and I keep getting the ads on it. So it's funny you say that. All right, come on. What you got? What are your favorites? I want you in the chat. This is for me. This is not for you. This is for me. You are smart people. You are subject matter experts. You know more about macrame than I will ever know. I want to know, what are your favorite tools? Come on, Julia. What's your favorite tool for macrame? I don't even know what macrame really is, but it is like one of my favorite words. It is such a cool word. It's like macrame and galoshes and capricious. These are some of my favorite words. Pumpernickel, that's another fun one.
Does it have to be just for a niche, or can it be for anything?
Whatever helps you, any of these that you can't live without. I told you some, my noise canceling headphones. I still love these. These are the Sony. There's not Bose. These are Sony. And these have been amazing for me. Come on, let's go. Sharon, I know you have a certain cocktail mixer. What is it? Let's go. What is it? Okay, here we go. But it's a certain one. I want to know what the specific one is. What's your brand? All right, now we're getting to it. All right. Revolut for banking. Okay. And then you use Asana for project management. Interesting. We can track for affiliate revenue track. Interesting. I didn't know about that. Is anybody else interested in that all of a sudden? I kind of am. We can track. Be looking into that. Favorite silicone whisk. But not just any silicone whisk, Kylie. You got the Walmart brand straight off of the shelf, and it's your favorite, generic, right? No, okay, well, what is it? Then let's see. I have sold so many of my mini oven, but Ninja won't sponsor it. Why should they care when I'm selling it? Okay, well, we'll talk about that in a second. Air fryer, garlic press. So the Cosori air fryer, it's not just any air fryer. Now you're Canadian, so is that Cosori and not Kosari? Oh, come on, I'll be here all week. I am so sorry for that bad joke. The Lodge cast iron pot, not just any cast iron pots. The Elevated Craft cocktail shaker. Why that one? Nesco dehydrator. Well, look, Lodge cast iron is here again. Sorry, it's American actually. Space saving stacking Calphalon pans. All right, excellent. So you're getting it now. Are you interested in anything else that everybody else put in here? I kind of am. Yeah, Carmen's already seen some things in there where she's like, yeah, why am I making you do this exercise? Because most people, when I ask them about affiliate marketing, they're like, I don't do affiliate marketing. But the reality is that you are a subject matter expert. You use this stuff all the time. You are not shilling a product. You are providing help. I had to get over this a little bit with ConvertKit a long time ago. Like, I used to do these masterminds. I used to apologize for the ConvertKit affiliate link. No longer. Because you know what? I know how to get it to work. And if you want to do these things that will work, just do what I do. You're doing the exact same thing with the Cosori, with the Lodge cast. Look, maybe you haven't evaluated every single iron skillet in the world, but doggone it, you don't need to, because this works. Megan is saving us time by telling us which dehydrator will change our life. And you can do the same thing. And in fact, my food blogging friends, you know this is true. If somebody that you admire in the space, somebody that you emulate to be, if they go into their pantry on an Instagram story and they say, here's how I organize my pantry or their knife drawer, or here's what's in my refrigerator. You are glued to it because you want to know exactly how they do it because it's going to save us time. I am legit curious about Kevin's affiliate tracking link because mine is terrible. I use easy affiliate links and it's terrible. And so I need We Can Track. You do the same thing. So if you want to make some money with affiliate marketing, I'm going to give you some ideas here. What problem can you solve? First of all, you can create affiliate-ready content and just loop it into what you're already going to do. This Disney Cruise Insurance post was part of my repertoire because if you're considering going on a big trip like that, you might want to know about trip insurance. So I answered that question before they even think to ask. And I put this in my Forever series. This was covering the cost of my list because there was an Allianz affiliate link and I recommended them because it was easy to understand and it was, at the time, it was super simple for Disney Cruise. It wasn't making me rich, but this was part of a Forever series. Think about that for a second. My Forever series for a Disney Cruise, I had this like week 13 or something, 13 weeks in. If this was email number 1, how well would that play? Hi, you're new to my list. Let me tell you about trip insurance. But by week 13, hopefully Matt's been pretty right about all this other stuff. He's probably right about this too. We're building that trust. You put this in and it automatically works. Jansen, I told you about her. She's got a Forever series of 200 emails. She's got different posts in there related to Audible, for example. And she has a regular stream of Audible revenue coming in just from her Forever series. Sally from Sally's Baking Addiction. I don't know if she does anymore, but early in her Forever series, like within the first 10 weeks, she had kitchen tools I can't live without. And guess what? You click through on it, it goes to a page that lists a whole bunch of affiliate links.
So Matt, can I ask you, are you just linking an affiliate link here, or is this pushing to a blog post with affiliate links? Or
It's going to depend on the situation. As everybody probably knows, Amazon doesn't want you to link directly to an individual product. If it makes sense to do so, you might just link straight to the product. I'll show you some examples of that in a minute. But like in the case of Sally, she was doing a roundup, and she has oh, the policy's changed. Awesome, I didn't know that. Sally ranks, or she, at least at the time, she used to, for kitchen tools I can't live without, right? So not only is she getting affiliate links, she's also getting traffic to it. So there's a lot of benefit. All right. Apologize, I'm not up on the latest of what Amazon's doing. That's good to know. I need to be here today for you to tell me that. There might be other plays for you to how to use a knife, how to use the Instant Pot, how to make the most of the whiz-bang Peloton, right? How do I use the skills assessment course that costs $150? Maybe in your space, there's a series of things you can't live without. If you're doing crafting, maybe you can't live without that special scissors, those special scissors. If you're camping, my goodness, the thing that empties the RV porta potty, I can't live without that. You know, which one do you use? I got to have that one. You could also be talking about what's new in your space. Oh my gosh, there's new tools for campers every single year. Who can keep up with it? Not a casual camper, but doggone it, somebody who does this for a living. Is that a shill if they come out and say, you need to try this thing, it changes my life? I don't think it's a shill. Going back to Cricut, if anybody's ever done Cricut, you know that there's more accessories you know, that you can buy than there are people in the country of Liechtenstein. That is a fact. Do you need all of them? No. You need this and this and this and this. Or to answer Nisha's question, maybe just your favorites. If they like you, they might like your favorite things. You can do these gift guides as well. I've done gift guides for years. They work wonderfully. Now, you can also consider deal-ready content even if you're not a deal blogger. Many of you are bristling at this because you're like, well, I'm not going to be known as Deals. You don't have to. This is Merrick from Merrick's Art, and she does lifestyle and sewing. And whenever the Nordstrom sale comes out, I think it's semi-annually, like 8 times a year, she will break through the noise of what is actually a deal in that sale, because everything goes on sale, but sometimes it's the exact same price as before. So she breaks that down and says, here's what I'm buying. Black Friday, maybe you're just sorting through what are real deals for Black Friday in your space. Amazon Prime Day is another thing. Okay. How to use email to drive these types of affiliate deals? Well, there's, aside from the things that we've already mentioned, you could add, like I did with the Disney Cruise Insurance, you could add this content to your Quick Start Guides or your Forever series and just put them in there. Serve. You could also send seasonal broadcasts. That's obvious, right? Black Friday, sending some emails. You can also do some cool things with automations, tags and triggers and whatnot. For example, let's say that you send out, again, this is a dumb example, but it's easy to understand. Let's say you're a food blogger and you're sending out my 5 favorite things to make this weekend. And one of the things is an air fryer recipe. If they click it, you can tag them and say, oh, I think that Christy has an air fryer. Beyond that, you could actually set a trigger that when we tag Christy, it actually triggers a 3-part series on my favorite air fryer recipes, my favorite air fryer accessories, and how to get your next, and what's the best air fryer on the market. Do you see how that would be automated? See how that would be useful to the air fryer person? It's an automatic money maker if you're really serving, and it's just a tag and a trigger. Boom, just sends them those extra emails. For those who are asking all the technical details on that, you're going to have to figure that out a little bit. The course and email know will help you with some of that, but you can exclude, you can set tags that would exclude them from getting everything else for a while they're in that. And then once they're done with that, then that can resume them in everything else. Okay, there's ways to do that. Again, what I'm getting at is if you can dream this scenario, there's usually a way that you can do it. You could also create a separate newsletter. Whoa, wait a second here. What are you talking about? In some of your niches, like I'm throwing this out, maybe specifically Kevin, because I know your stuff, or I get a general gist of it. Maybe even in Megan's, maybe with Will, you could do a deal newsletter. Are you interested? Do you want to be alerted when something in running goes on sale? I mean, that's the gist of it. When there's a really hot deal, you'll get people that'll raise their hand and say, sure. And then you have an opportunity to send them stuff because they raised their hand and said, sure. And so you can say, well, the Nike Super Tigers just went on sale. They dropped by 20%. This is the lowest result we've ever seen it, or whatever you want to say. Okay. How do you set up tags and triggers? Well, it depends on your platform. Carmen, if you're on Flowdesk, that's very limited, which I think you are. Is that right? No, you're not. MailChimp? MailChimp has a different way to do that. You'll just have to dig into their help docs. But it's definitely doable. Definitely doable. Oh, Kevin's building on this. Partners would even provide dedicated promo codes. Wow, that's smart. Right there. Anybody know who Peter Attia is? Peter Attia is fantastic. Highly recommend him for his content on longevity. He has a premium newsletter where he has gone and negotiated special deals with high-end fitness and lifestyle and health companies. So he's not actually making money off of the affiliate play, but kind of to Kevin's point, he went and negotiated special vanity codes. By the way, I didn't even think to talk about this, but I know a ton about this because remember the Daily Deal website when I was telling you how we had the Daily Deal thing? We did a lot of email marketing and affiliate marketing. So when people came to us and became our affiliates, we would do a lot with them. I did not have a budget where I could just spend sponsorship dollars and hope that would work. But if somebody came to me and said, I will put your thing in front of people, give me a vanity code, give me a special discount, like Kevin's talking about doing, I was happy to give a dedicated promo code. Most of you can negotiate way more of that than you think because you've been thinking about sponsorships and stuff. There is this level at affiliate level where if, don't just take it for granted that 10% is the commission. You might be able to just go to them and say, hey, look, I'm doing a big push. I need 15%. You'll get that a lot of the time, especially if you drive sales. If you don't drive sales, then all bets are off. You can also add affiliate content to your template. You know that I am all about making your broadcasts solve one problem per email, right? But look at what Corey was doing or does at Hey, Let's Make Stuff. She's a Cricut expert herself. And so she's got her, she's doing her Halloween or fall projects up here, but she's got this segment, the snippet that is deals and steals. And she went and got these different, Cricut, she has her own code there, and she got an Expressions Vinyl code, and she just drops it in here. At different platforms like MailChimp and MailerLite and ConvertKit have things that are equivalent to reusable blocks. Are you familiar with reusable blocks in WordPress? You can do similar types of things in these platforms where if this deal changes, all Corey has to do is just update in ConvertKit. It's a snippet. She just changes out the coupon code from summer to fall or whatever it may be, swaps this offer out, puts in a different offer. And then her Forever series, which is pulling in that copy from the snippet, the Forever series is always updated, but she doesn't ever have to go touch every email in the sequence. Does that make sense? That was a little out there. Corinne nodded. So Corinne's validating me today. I appreciate that. All right. Now, another thing you can do is put in affiliate offers like they are ads. We're going to talk about ads in more detail tomorrow. But this is Nourish, Move, Love. In talking with Lindsay, her strategy that has worked great for her is she does sponsorships in newsletters, almost every single one, whether it's an actual sponsorship or not. So if she's getting paid by Lululemon to do one, great. If she's not, she might throw in these post-workout fuels. It's just her audience starts looking for the offers. They get used to seeing the offers, is what she told me. And you could, again, you create these as blocks. So she could insert the G2G guide anytime she has a space. Maybe she just keeps a schedule. I'm going to run this every third Tuesday, and I'm going to run this other one, every fifth Wednesday. And right, you just have this schedule, and then you can insert them into your existing content. You could also, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but you could launch a new series. For example, we're staring summer in the face right here. Now, Kita is not with us today, but hopefully she's hearing the replay on this. If she's about summer grilling, right now is the time. Ninja, for example, came out with they've got a new grill, right? It's like a consumer or entry-level grill. She could create a how to use the Ninja whatever series. She could go to her entire list and say, hey, everybody, I made this special series. For those of you who've ever considered the Ninja whatever grill, click here and you'll get 3 emails, 1 per day for the next 3 days. That'll explain how to use it, my favorite recipes for it, and what accessories do you need. This is only going to be available to the end of the week. This is only going to be available at the end of the month, whatever. Promote it like it's a thing. And you'll get a lot of people to jump into that. And then now you're sending them bonus emails. Nisha, the answer is yes. If you update a snippet separately, if it's pulling in that snippet, then yeah, that email gets updated. So that's the power of it. Kind of you change it one spot and it changes everywhere that you're publishing it. This is worth spending just a minute on, Black Friday, because many of you, if you do nothing else, you could get away with just adding some Black Friday content into the other things that you're doing right now. You become the expert, even if you're not a deal person, all right? If Sharon is about entertaining and cocktails, there's going to be at Black Friday a lot of stuff out there that overwhelms everybody, but she knows who her cocktail people are. She knows who her entertainers are. She can point out the best Black Friday deals for those who love to throw parties. And then she can list the mixer and the this and the blender and the paper mache, whatever's, you know, because clearly that's what parties are all about, paper mache. You can also keep track of it yourself. So what I do is there's actually a service called, have anybody seen this? Camel. This is just affiliate or Amazon, excuse me. So this is not all encompassing here. Nope. Where do we go? There we go. So you come here, you sign up for, you put in your, the product that you want to track. So I'm tracking these pens. These are my favorite pens. And so it's just going to give me email alerts or notify me of the price changes. And so this is pretty cool. So when you go in there, create yourself an email or that can be filtered. Mine is mmullen plus camel@gmail.com. That means that everything that comes in with that email address, it comes to my mmullen Gmail box, but I can just set a filter that puts it into a folder. So I can go look at it later. I don't need to be bothered with all the price alerts. But when the time comes, I just go dig through that, and then I can point out the real deals. In your case, there might be the equivalent of that pen. You might have 10, 50, 100 products that you do at one time, and you just set those in there. And you'll know, you'll be able to, when the time comes, be able to know, is this an actual deal? Yes, it is. This is actually 20% lower than it's ever been. All right. I also suggest that you increase the number of emails if that makes sense for you, because this is like the one time of year when you can do that. There's a lot of noise out there, so you can do that. Sorry, I have a furry friend who is freaking out. My daughter just left her dog, and he is not happy. Subject lines. I know this is super in the weeds, nitty gritty stuff, but I want to share this with you. The 10 best blank deals of Black Friday. Black Friday is not a time to get cute. All right. I almost missed these, or these are going to change the way I feel about myself. You know, that kind of stuff. It's nice and everything, but at Black Friday time, just cut to the chase. The 10 best running shoe deals of Black Friday. Oh, okay. Let me open that. You may also want to partner with a brand. They have a budget, right? They're probably competing with Walmart and Amazon at that time. If you have, especially in your niche, there may be some brand partners that can't compete. I couldn't compete with Amazon and Walmart, but guess what? My boss expected results at Black Friday. So I went to places that I could control. You go to niche audiences. So when Margaret comes and says, look, I've got all the teachers in the world, I can share with them your Black Friday deal. I'm going to need 15% commission instead of 10. You partner with them. You might want to also, if you have your own products, I don't love discounting your own products, but if you're ever going to do it, Black Friday is kind of the time when you can protect your price points a little bit more, but still offer a deal. And last but not least, this is a subject line. This is not just Black Friday. This is my favorite subject line of all time. Did you miss it? Try me on this. I've tested this subject line more than any over the last 25 years, and it always seems to work. Why? Because they did probably miss it. And they feel like they missed out on something important. So did you miss it? Here were the 10 best running shoe deals of Black Friday. You can do this right now. Did you miss it? These were the top recipes for April. Good opens, good opens. Okay, I'm going to stop there because it's a logical stopping point. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the specifics on selling your own products, the email funnels that you might use to sell those. I'm going to give you an actual template of a funnel. I'm going to show you some landing page copy that I think you should adopt. I'm also going to talk about direct sponsorships, how to get paid by brands to put their stuff in your emails. I'm going to talk about what Beehive and Substack and ConvertKit are doing to insert ads in emails. I'll talk about, should you use an agency to do this for you? The answer is no, and I'll explain why tomorrow. What else am I going to talk about? What else do you want me to talk about that I have not yet covered? So if there's anything related to selling or making money with email, tomorrow's our last big hurrah. So down, let me know if I have not covered something, and I'll make sure that I come ready for it. All right. Homework assignment. Start thinking about some of these segment things that we've been talking about. Can I now go make another quick start guide for that parent segment versus the teacher segment? Can I make the segment for the Weight Watchers points people versus just healthy recipes? I want you to think about those, because building out that plan, it occurs to me that one of you out there is going, this is a lot of work. What's going to happen if you don't do it? I guess that's what I'm going to put out there. We're going to go back to this. No, I'm not going to go back to it. We have, if you knew that your traffic was going to change, your business model is changing. Maybe yours isn't. If it isn't, then that means that your business is thriving and there's just an opportunity here. And maybe you do this to reinvest in your business. If your business model is changing, it is the little things like this that start to set us apart. Yeah, I get it. There's a lot here. So pick I guess my advice to somebody who is feeling a little overwhelmed, it occurs to me that may be you, is pick your most profitable segment, your biggest segment, and then do what we've been talking about. Am I growing the list as fast as I can in there? Do I have a forever series that caters to them? Am I sending regular broadcasts to them? What are some different ways that I can serve them through maybe affiliate offers and the other stuff we're going to talk about tomorrow? And then move to the next segment and do the same thing. Don't get too overwhelmed with, I could do everything for everybody. That is absolutely true. As the entrepreneur, the shiny object entrepreneur syndrome, I've got it. Oh man, I've got it bad. I've got notebooks full of ideas that I just want to do, things I want to do. And then it comes down to, you got to execute. Sorry, I've ignored all the questions. Thoughts on resends to unopens. What Margaret is referring to is that your platform, MailerLite has it built in automatically. ConvertKit, you can do it manually. MailChimp, I think you just have to hit, I don't know, I think they have it too. I like it personally. Depends on how frequently you're sending emails and depends on the import of that email. But when you're doing it, I usually would wait at least 24 hours, probably 48 hours before I resend to unopens, and always, always, always change the subject line to be something totally different. You've seen it when somebody sends you resending. That's ugly and gross. Let's instead figure out another hook. They didn't open it maybe there was a reason that they didn't open it the first time. Try again with a different subject line. So we need several evergreen series to match each segment. Ideally, right? I mean, if you think about it. So with my Disney Cruise example, I also have Aulani Disney Hotel. So with Disney Cruise, I have, as I mentioned, I have 30 emails in that sequence. For Aulani, I have 7. Now, I chose those because I knew that I had the content. I knew I could set it up quick, and I knew that it served them. And if it would do well there, it might inspire me to write the 8th in the Aulani, right? But at bare minimum, I'm serving those people better. So if you can figure out how to write these emails faster, even if it's as short as a tweet. Anybody who know who Neil Patel is? If you ever followed Neil Patel, his emails are two paragraphs and 1 sentence per paragraph. That's what his emails are. They're plain text, and they almost get me every single time. Sharon, I'll look over your pop-up. You want to drop it in here? That'd be great. Shauna. Oh, if you got to get out of here, go launch, do all the things. If you're doing anything other than email, you're doing it wrong. So we'll see you tomorrow. Shauna.
He's like, I know this is going to take a minute. Okay. I am going back to, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, but I really want to know 100% how to execute this, what to do, because to me, this is where I'm leaving the emails on the table. And that is that double opt-in, because I've got over 6,000 people sitting in unconfirmed. And when I talked to ConvertKit, they said, no, you don't want to do that because then your stuff is going to go to spam and this and that. And I just really want to know, like, because I want those people on my email list, but I want to know
You want
how
to
to
do what?
do it.
You don't want,
Huh?
they don't want you to do single opt-in. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they
I-
basically said if we
Yeah.
did that, that we would be considered spam and the deliverability
That's not
wouldn't
true.
be good.
Yeah,
So
that's not
I
true.
just want to feel confident if I do this, what I need to do to prune the list, what the actual steps are. Because I really truly think that some of those 6,000 people that are sitting on unconfirmed, just like I have a lot of older people too, I think they just don't know.
Yeah.
And there's no way to resend it out to get them on there. So I
That's
just
right.
really want like the geeky info on this.
Okay, the geeky info on this is that you probably were talked to by a customer service person who may be working overseas and is referring to old documentation on the way that we used to think about this. The reality is that you are going to be just fine doing single opt-in. Just two things to consider. Number one, go to email on autopilot and watch the little segment on GDPR if you want the technical side. And the second thing is go watch the how to prune the list module in there too. That's all you need. Grow it fast and prune it regularly. That's my whole mantra. I gave up double opt-in in 2016.
Okay. I think they just tried to scare me because every
Well,
time I tried
so-
to push it.
Yeah, well, don't talk to them about it. I mean, think about if you're one of the newsletter platforms. Historically, this is before reCAPTCHA was as big of a deal as it is. It's much harder for your list to be bombed in the way that it used to be. It still happens, but once in a while it happens, and we have to go. And it's really easy to identify. You get the spike where you're like, oh my gosh, was I on Good Morning America or something? And then you go, oh no, I was a bot hit my list. We have to shut down that form, turn on the double opt-in for that form for a minute, delete all the bot people, switch the form, and then it's over. That's happened to me probably 15 times with my clients in the last, and I have hundreds of clients. All right. So and I've been doing this since 2017. You're going to be just fine. Yeah, I don't want to spend any more time on it actually, because you're going to be just fine.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, you
Thank
got
you.
it. Okay, Sharon. Let's pull
I
this
didn't
up
know how
here.
to show you. Sorry.
You figured it out, I think. Well, let's see. I'm judging too early. All right, so tell me before it loads, what are your concerns, or what's happening, or you just want some 2 cents on it?
It's a 5-day summer series for desserts and cocktails. I do have it set up A/B, where one is a picture of dessert and one is a picture of cocktails, because I couldn't find a picture with both, but I'm just wondering if it's what's missing.
Is it working?
Well, I just put it live last night, so.
Okay, because I like it. This is ConvertBox, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like it. Things I like about it, I assume, let's double check this real quick. Yep. Okay. So this is how I would do it. Design, minor design elements aside,
Mhm.
5 days of summer sips and treats. By the way, you can do oh, wait a second. Yeah, you can do an animated GIF on here if you want. I don't know if you knew that. I've been doing that a lot lately, and it adds a little something to it. So you can get one of those drinks in there if you want. But that's only on desktop, right? But still. Skip the summer menu stress with fun drinks and tasty dessert recipes. Maybe we could cut a word or two out of that, but and maybe it's not about summer menu stress when you're talking about sips and treats. Maybe I'm totally nitpicking, Sharon. This is great. So, but I don't think of stress when I think of that. I think like making the most of my summer, enjoying my summer the most I possibly can, right?
Okay.
That's one thought. Obviously, so the call to action button, the color, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could do better on the color. I need these recipes, feels actionable. Something like, yes, I want this, tends to work pretty well too. The The X is visible, so you can close it. So I don't really have any, you know, it really comes down to, is our headline as jazzy as it possibly could be? And you kind of have to play with that. You're doing the testing. So I think it's pretty good. And
Thank you.
yeah, keep going. Let's see what it does. I'm curious to hear how it goes. Enjoy summer drinks and tasty dessert recipes. Why wouldn't we put an image on mobile for the pop-up? Oh yeah, so Christy, good question. If she's still here, Christy's still here. So it's just it's a much more Google friendly of the advice that they've given us for mobile. We don't want to take up too much space, and it's typically, and you can do it if you have a really savvy designer that can get an image in there. Most of my clients don't spend a lot of time on that, and quite often there's not that big of a difference in having an image versus not having an image, as long as the call to action and the hook are hooky. So yeah, that's the reason why. It is a space issue for sure. Oh, okay, Julia, here we go. All right, let's share my screen here. Maybe, where to go? There it is. All right. I don't love this. That's just me. 5 amazing cat projects. Come to my place. I like this. Yeah, this is good too. I like the word adore. I probably just, again, I'm totally nitpicking, Julia, but I mean, if I'm trying to get words out just to make it easy, yeah, it'd be like, do you adore your cat? Question. And love making things for it?
Okay.
And I'd probably only say, I'd probably only say that. And is there any other, like, you've come to the right places. It's one of those things that's kind of assumed.
Okay.
Could we use, if we were going to use that real estate, could we use it to say 15 minutes or less? That's probably not realistic, but or some other thing that describes these projects. That, amazing cat projects doesn't give me the context of what's going to be involved here. Like, adorable cat projects conveys cuteness.
Okay.
Simple.
Not simple.
They're not simple. Okay. 5 worth it. 5 cat projects. 5, yeah. 5
I
ways
love-
to.
like some of the ones that are not like simple, that's when I offer like where you can buy them if you don't want to make them yourself.
Got it. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, that's cool. I like the bold title on this too. Stylish. See, so Christy's they're stylish, or they fit your home style. Those are interesting. So what we're kind of doing here is we're not criticizing this per se. It's just more of, how do we hone in on because it's all about the headline. It's all about the headline. You got a cute cat there with a cute cat plate. You're showing the project with the cat. That's fun. Yes, tell me more is good. I might, I don't have anything to say about that. I think that's good. I would switch this up so name is above email. First name should always be optional anyway. You already have that, I'm sure. So those are just my initial thoughts.
And the other one was like where I have like what I've been working on to change it.
Okay. That the same one? No, it's a different one. Scroll. 5 secrets for
pop as
updating
fast
your
as
home.
the other
Okay.
But I feel like every home decor blogger uses like the corner budget because that's what everybody wants to spend like the least amount of money possible.
Well, it may mean it works.
Yeah.
Your audience is not visiting every other home decor website. They Googled high coloring or old stove colors or something like that, or paint an old stove or something is what they Googled. And so updating your home on a tight budget. My only thing here I mean, Five Secrets definitely pops. There's different elements of this, of the, updating. And then the tight budget, I think, is also, so just maybe capitalization here might bring out, some of those words a little bit different. Are you itching to, and I might, if I would shorten this down, ready to update your home, but have a small budget? Question mark,
Yeah.
period. Because the more of this that we have, the harder it is for people to read.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. I don't really have, I mean, maybe do an animated GIF here too, to show different types of projects that they might see in here. By the way, if anybody wants to know how I do that.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know how to.
Yeah, this is really simple. You could just Google animated GIF maker and it'll bring up
Oh, I
this
have
first
one
one.
on my phone.
Oh, you do? Okay, that'll work. But if you don't, you want to do it on a desktop, you can just drop your files in here and then it'll
okay.
allow you to optimize them, size them differently. And it's just a real simple tool and it's free.
Does that use more like does that use more loading time if you use an animated?
Yeah, good point. It does. So you're going to want to optimize it. You don't want
Okay.
too many in the rotation,
Yeah.
and you want to compress the images, which that tool will do as much as you can without it being too grainy. So it is a trade-off for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, this is great. Let's go. I'm excited. I'm gonna go
Thank you.
update my home. Let's see. Did I miss somebody? I added my new pop-up. I'm getting a decent amount of subscribers, 100 per day. Well, alrighty then. How long we let it run to track data to see if it's better than my old one? Well, probably a couple of weeks at least. Is this in the ballpark of the other one?
Yes, it's about the same for subscriber rate. I got about 100 per day on the other one, but
Uh-huh.
the click-through rate's a tiny bit lower on this one
In the guide
than the
itself?
other one, but it just started. So
Too early. Statistically,
too early to tell. In addition, the other one was 1 email. This is 5 emails. So I'm
Right.
not really sure how to compare
Right.
the two. And the other one went to a funnel page where I was also selling a product. And this email series, I'm not doing any sales. It's
Got it.
just more for ad revenue.
Right. Well, if they're close, like if it's like, certainly seasonality matters, certain times of the year. So, and also certain days of the week are different depending on traffic. I think you want to give yourself as close to an apples to apples comparison, unless it's totally stinking. I mean, you kind of know that right away. You don't have to spend weeks on that. You spend a couple days on that and go, okay, that didn't go. But in your case, you have the upside of, if it's anywhere close, I'm going to enjoy getting those 5 emails, sending them 5 emails in a row, So yeah, give it a couple weeks probably. Did I miss anybody else's question? Oh, should I use ConvertKit pop-ups? So Nisha, I have a service where I do done for you list growth services for food bloggers, and I just use ConvertKit pop-ups. They're good enough. I use in the email and autopilot template course, I use the Poplar. You'll find a little tutorial in there, and I use the Poplar modal that ConvertKit has, and I apply the custom CSS that you'll see in those instructions. And without that, I wouldn't use them. They're not good, but that's what I'm doing now. All right. Hey, good work, people. You know what? Especially you, Shauna. Way to go. Keep it rocking. We'll see you all tomorrow where we're going to make some more money. Yeah.